3 things that must not fall. Rohan, 39 years old, CEO of a billion-dollar startup. He is the role model admired by thousands. Self-made from nothing, once lived in a tiny 12-square-meter dorm room during college, stayed up countless nights eating instant noodles under the desk lamp. Back then, Rohan swore, "One day, I will never let my mother worry about medicine costs. Never let my wife have to choose between buying milk for our child or paying school fees." He achieved even more. A penthouse apartment, a luxury car, his child studying at an international school. But strangely, the higher he climbed, the smaller and more meaningless he felt. Every night, in his spacious room, Rohan quietly plays instrumental music, the warm yellow light casting shadows on his tired face. One day, he looked in the mirror and no longer recognized the man before him. He remembered his 8-year-old son saying once, "Dad, please don't forget my birthday again like last year, okay?" Rohan froze, not knowing how to respond. He had thought expensive gifts were enough, but it turned out his son only needed a timely hug. His wife, who had been through hard times with him, now only met him through calendar reminders and Google messages. Old friends. There was no one he truly called a friend anymore. Every meeting revolved around projects, investments, and empty cheers. There was an invisible emptiness growing inside him, invisible yet corroding everything. Rohan sought out a place his old friend once mentioned, a meditation monastery on a mountain peak, where people don't seek advice, they seek themselves. The journey was not easy. The car couldn't reach the summit. He had to walk through stone steps, amidst silent forests, only the sound of wind and his own footsteps. The monk welcomed him with peaceful eyes. No questions about who he was, no questions about what he needed. Just poured him a warm cup of tea. Rohan began to speak. About fatigue, about the void, about feeling like running on a wheel that never stops. Finally, he asked, "I have achieved everything people call success. So why do I feel like a loser?" The monk did not answer. He smiled gently, went inside and returned with 3 balls. A clear crystal ball, sparkling in the sunlight. A white porcelain ball, smooth and shiny. A simple black rubber ball. He said, "Let's play a game. Toss these 3 balls into the air, but always keep at least 1 ball from falling." Rohan looked surprised, but followed. At first it was easy, but as the pace quickened, his hands started fumbling. He had to twist, tense, sweat pouring, heart pounding. Then, a decisive moment. All 3 balls fell at once. He managed to catch the crystal and porcelain balls, but let the rubber ball drop and bounce away. Rohan gasped for breath. His eyes followed the rolling rubber ball, then turned back to the 2 balls in his hands, one trembling, the other still intact. "I caught the crystal and porcelain balls, because if they fall, they break," he said. The monk nodded. "You have just done what people spend a lifetime learning, knowing what can fall and what cannot. The crystal ball is the soul, peace, compassion, love. Once lost, it shatters into thousands of pieces. The porcelain ball is family, loved ones, health, precious, seemingly sturdy but fragile. One small crack can spread forever. The rubber ball, that is material things, fame, money. They can be lost and will come back again. No one dies from missing the latest phone, but many collapse from losing peace." On the way back, Rohan no longer looked at the city with the same eyes. He didn't quit his job, but he began to live differently. He started having dinner with his wife and child at least 4 times a week. He turned off the internet for 2 hours each night to read, meditate, or simply listen to his child's stories about school. He wrote a handwritten letter to his mother, living in the countryside, for the first time in 10 years. And a strange thing happened. Work still progressed, but his smile began to return. "What about you? Which balls are you tossing up in the air?" Are you holding tightly to the rubber ball while letting the ones that cannot fall break apart? You know, life is like a play. We are born without knowing the role we will play, only knowing that time is limited, and the stage will never wait for anyone too long. We start life with empty hands, yet we are given the most precious gifts: a heart that feels, a home, people who love us unconditionally, and dreams that feel real. Then we grow up, and the race begins. We chase grades, then chase jobs, then chase titles, money, fame. We believe when we have enough of these, happiness will come as a deserved reward. But have you ever asked yourself, what am I trading to have what I have? And an even more important question, is what I'm holding worth losing what I'm letting go? You can regain a business opportunity. You can rebuild a house. You can buy back a car. But you cannot buy back time lost with your child. You cannot ask for a meal that your mother waited for, but you never came home. You cannot heal a soul hardened by neglect for too long. Some things, if they fall, will break. And some things, if they break, will never be the same. Happiness is not the peak you climb. It is the steps you missed because you were too busy looking ahead. It is the hugs you forgot to give to your loved ones. The nights you opened your laptop instead of listening to your child's stories. The moments you could have stopped, but pressed the gas instead, fearing to be left behind. The truth is, no one is left behind when they stop to love. But many are lost in their own lives because they don't know what to hold on to. So when life forces you to toss many balls in the air, remember, not all balls that fall are the same. A rubber ball, if it falls, will bounce. But a crystal ball, if it falls, will shatter into 100 pieces. And a porcelain ball, if it breaks, leaves cracks that never heal. Choose what you must hold on to, and learn to let go of what is only an illusion of success. Because in the end, happiness lies not in what you have, but in knowing what you cannot lose. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who needs a nudge to rise again. And if you want more heartfelt, transformative stories, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Thank you for listening. We'll meet again in the next story.